Hey guys, what's up? Miyamaka here, and I'm here to talk to you guys about something that has been suggested to me by someone, um, and that I think is very important to talk about. Um, and I'm not really sure how I should cover this, but I'm gonna try to give it my best, and we'll see how this goes. But um, it I'm just gonna say that there are different types of people. There are people that do sports. There are people that don't. I don't do sports. There are people that sing. There are people that don't. There are people that um, like rock. There are people that like country. There are different types of people. There's black, white. Gay, straight. There's different types of people. You're always gonna run into some types of different types of people. Um, but it becomes a problem when you start criticizing people for being that, for acting this way, for being themselves. That's where it becomes a problem for me. Just because you play a sport such, I'm just going to use this as an example, just because this is more of the typical jock. You're a cocky football player. You think that you're all that. Just because that you put on a helmet and you go out there and you tackle people. I'm not saying that doesn't mean that you're a good. I'm not saying anything against football, but I'm just giving you an example that that doesn't mean that you get to go push a whole bunch of people around. That doesn't mean that you're better than everyone else. That means that you're doing what you love, and that's great for you. But the second that you start criticizing other people for what they want to do, if people were all on you for playing football, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be playing football. Why I say that? Because um, a lot of people have this type of thinking that if I do this, I'm cool. If I do this, I'm cool. If I do this, and things like you know, and I'm saying this all just kind of stereotyping, like societies, you know, ways of looking. Um, they might think that theater isn't cool, or they think that it's different. It's out there. Or I'm just giving that as an example. But um, when you come in and you say, "Oh, dude, that's so dumb," or "That's so stupid," or "You fucking, you know, faggot," whatever you're gonna call people, it's terrible. It really is. You criticize people because they want to be themselves. Um, just directing that towards just a topic that I think is really important to cover, sexuality as well. Um, People go on and they say things like faggot and queer and all this stuff, and they just it's a simple little thing, and you just make fun of these people for liking a different gender, and um, you know you you don't understand how much that person has gone through to get to this point where they're confident in themselves enough to be themselves. You gotta really think about that next time you say that to that outcast that's sitting by himself. You gotta think about what you say to people, because it really does impact. It really does impact how they think of themselves, how they walk, how they talk, how they think. It it hurts. It hurts people. It breaks them. This type of stuff where you think that you can go around saying all these bad things about people. It's terrible. You know, and I would just like to make a message for anyone who does this type of stuff, where they think that they can say whatever they want to people just because they do certain things, or just anything. There is a certain line where you're taking things too far, and I know, people that know me, I do take it too far sometimes. But I acknowledge that, and I apologize for that, and I try to make sure that I never ever do that again. Because and I'm not saying that I would just automatically hate you because you say something offensive. People make mistakes, and I get that. But if you just repeatedly do it, and you know what you're doing, and you just pound on people, you know, um, it's terrible. And what I want to get out of this is that I just want you to think about it. I want to bring this up because I want people to think about what they do and what they say to people, because it gets to people, and that's why there's all these people that are crying at night, and there's all these people that are suffering and they feel terrible about themselves, and that's why high school's so hard for some people, because they're being themselves, they're doing what they love, and it may not be football, it may not be basketball or soccer, whatever sport you want to play, it might not be that kind of style you like, it might not be modern music, it's different things, everyone is different, and for someone to come out and be themselves, that takes real balls. That right there shows me more courage than any person beating someone up, or any person that just handles their situations by saying, "Dude, I'm gonna kick their ass." Like, no, that's not how this works. So, I would just like to say that if you think that it's funny to make fun of someone just for being who they are, I mean, even if it is a joke, you do know that gets put in their head somewhere. That little theory of yours that you think it's okay, it's not at all. And as much as I do it myself, I work on it every day, and I think I get better. And I want to bring this message out, and I want to tell people this because I want someone to think about it. I've heard this stuff. I've started thinking about it, and as I thought about it more, I realized what I was doing. I used to make so many bad comments about people, and now I really don't try to. I try not to give that weird guy on the street a look, because they're just being them. They're being themselves. It's what they want to do. It's how they want to act. And I think, if you really want to be an American, and this is going somewhere really weird, and I know, but I'm doing history, and shout out to my history homework. But I'm working on that right now. And we have 3 rights, or like natural rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you can't live your life if you're not being you. You can't have happiness if you're not yourself. If you have people like this who are giving you crap all the time for doing what makes you happy, for doing what you love. And you know what? I used to think that because I sing, because I like theater, I used to think that I was an outcast, and it doesn't mean that at all. It means that I'm doing what I love, and it's not sports. It's not what I love. It's not what I want to do. I used to think that making YouTube videos would get me, "Oh my gosh, dude, he's such a nerd. He doesn't even do anything with his life." Like whatever stupid comments people have to say. I worried about that so much to the point where it started changing who I was. And that was not fair to me. That wasn't fair for me to have to change myself to fit other people's perfections, because you're never going to be able to do that. And I broke down. I thought, I wasn't going to ever be perfect. I wasn't ever going to be able to make people happy. But as you do this more, and as you think about it more, and I just want you to think about this. I want you to know that you don't have to be this cocky, mean jerk just to fit in with people. There's other ways. You could just be you, and let those people who think that you aren't cool, or just do you. Do what makes you happy. Do what you love, despite what other people have to say. Because I promise you, you're not gonna be able to make yourself happy unless you start there. Unless you make yourself happy. And for anyone who gives people crap for that is messed up. That is terrible of you, and you should really consider what you're doing. Because I get that some people have, self-confidence issues, but that is not the way to do it, buddy, because you're just bringing other people down. And guess what? They're going to go do the exact same thing you do to someone that you care about later. That someone else cares about, that someone else loves, that someone else wants to have a good, successful high school or middle school career. And they just feel so bad about themselves all the time, and it breaks them. It hurts. And I would just say that, people's words, how people handle things is pretty pathetic. a lot of the time. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm just saying you really got to think about what you do. You really got to think about who you are and what you really stand for. Because I'm pretty sure 50% of the people that say these things don't really mean it. They don't really mean to hurt people as much as they do, but it hurts way more than you could ever imagine. So I would like you to consider that next time you say something. Say a little sly comment. Say, "Oh my gosh, you're fucking gay." Think about it. Alright guys, this is Miyamaka, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because I'm here to talk about it, I'm here to give advice, I'm here to do whatever I need to do to make the world a better place. Peace out.